wanted to show you the cycles. We're always developing our identity, our gifts, our talents, our understanding of the Lord. That is the biggest thing. God becomes so much more to you when you realize how intimately He does know you and the gifts He's given you. Now, we do have challenges also, and we can see those challenges and then deal with them also. Hello and welcome to all truth seekers, lovers of God Almighty, and children of destiny. This is Rose Martin, and this is Heaven's Empowerment Program, where we study the rhythms and the cycles of the heavens to improve our lives, to grow in our purpose, to get to know God better. God is the creator of all. There is nothing that is happening that He is not in control of, including the planets in our solar system. They are not idols. They do not have any power on their own. They're only used for what God wants to use them for. He's got a purpose for everything, right? So these planets up there in the heavens have a lot of purpose, have a lot of meaning, and this is what we go through understanding on Heaven's Empowerment Program. But today we're going to talk about the new moon, particularly. And every new moon, there's an open heaven to get information from God, to speak to God, to have a moment of quiet time with Him, to understand our lives, what He wants, and our next steps. So basically, the cycle goes like this. It's based on the sun and the moon going around this ecliptic. The moon goes around, this is 360 degrees, and it's divided into 12 houses, also called books, volumes, 12, and the moon goes through them. So you divide it by 12, so every house has 30 degrees in it. And this is where we get our chart with the signs. We're going to go over the signs today and the cycles. So the moon here, if you look at this chart, the new moon, we've got the crescent moon, the waxing crescent, the first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon. That's where we take another reading a lot of times. You can take it anywhere here, but this is the waning gibbous. Waxing is growing, waning is going down. Then we've got the last quarter and the waning crescent. And then we start again with the new moon. Now see, this is where the darkness is. It's dark, not seen. This is the time to meet with the Lord. From here to the crescent. We've got a little time here to meet with the Lord. And this is where He speaks to us. And each month is a different message. But it's around the same cycle. But situations change, which can add more insight into it. But we go around this cycle every year. The moon starts out in Aries at the beginning of the biblical spiritual year and the Earth's solar year. Zodiac year starts in Aries. And then we go around the wheel. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Now these are signs, and when you're born into one of these signs. So you could have your sun in Cancer, sun in Pisces. It's not what we're talking about now, but that is part of the zodiac, where your sun is at the moment of your birth. But each month the sun moves 360 degrees, the moon goes around the whole earth through all these signs in 28 days, really, and then the new moon is in a new sign. So we start with Aries, and then it goes to Taurus for the moon. It's a pinpointer. God says, okay, this month we're going to talk about Aries. There are all different kinds of attributes to each month. And you could, whatever the Lord wants you to focus on, there are Hebrew letters. Like, for example, the Nisan is the first month here, and that's the letter Hey. And you could study the word Hey, because that has many meanings in itself. And it's associated with the tribe. And a big thing is that it's associated with the permutation of God. Each month has a different permutation. As you see here, it starts with Aries, Yud, Hey Vav Hey, Yud Hey Vav Hey. And then it moves to different permutations. So the energies come down. There's the tribes, 2 different names of God, one of them being the permutation of his name. Tribes, zodiac signs, which is the constellations, and other things going on in these months. Now, we're going to talk about this, though, as far as the development of our identity, who we are, because we go through a whole cycle of who we are every year. We can focus on that. So we're going to go briefly over what each one of these basically is that we can concentrate on each month to develop ourselves, to ask the Lord to this quiet time here. And also set our goals and intentions. Lord, I want to do better in this. I want to achieve this. I want to ask to be overcome this, to be healed. What is it that you want? And it helps to be in tune with the topic of the month. Of course, you could ask anytime, anywhere, but this is where the power is. Okay. So here we start with Aries. Aries is the first sign. It could be equated to the baby. It's all I am. It's about me. Who am I? What is my identity? What do I look like? It's the initiator. It's the starter of things. So in that month, we would think about our identity. This is where the Passover is. This is where resurrection is. This is where the new life begins. So we begin our new life in the Lord. We begin our new life as delivered, saved, purified people. But who are we then after? What is our personality? Who am I? And so we get that insight into Aries. The next sign then is Taurus. These are the glyphs. This is Aries. This is Taurus, Gemini. These are the glyphs. Next sign next month is and this doesn't go by the dates because this is a new moon thing, not a birthday thing. Okay, this is the new moon schedule. Taurus then is the motto I have. Taurus wants possessions, security. It helps to bring these ideas and this new person, this identity into being, tangible results of who we are. It deals with our movable possessions. It deals with our the jewelry or books or things like this, things that can move, our cars, possessions. So how are we with possessions? Are we hoarding our possessions? Do we have too many? Do we place too much value in them? Do we need more possessions? More things. This is our values, who we are. It's the earning ability from the person that how do I make money? Where does my money come from? Things like that. Okay, so then we move on to Gemini. Gemini is I communicate, I think. This is our education. Now we got to think about things in life. We got to think about how it goes. We have to get educated on some things if we don't know enough how to, make money or how to do things with our lives. We've got to get education. So knowledge, education. How do we think? What do we think about? This is what we think about in the Gemini time. Then we move on to Cancer. Cancer is our foundation. This is our stability. This is also our emotions. This is our nurturing ability, Cancer. Foundation, it's our mother or father also. Our foundation, our houses, our possessions that are not movable, such as houses, land, things like this, if you're owners of these things. Okay. Leo then comes next. Leo then works with the ego. And it also creates. It's creative. Your creative outlets such as children it's also your creativity is art and things like this. How do you express yourself? In what manner do you express yourself? Now, Leo can also be very egotistical. Is it all about me? Is everything I do, I want the world to see how great I am, or do I really want to help people? It's your attitude with all this creativity and this expressiveness and this way to be so full of yourself. You don't want to be full of yourself. See, so this is where Leo, you take a look at your life at that time and ask the Lord to fill you in the areas. Next comes Virgo. Virgo is a servant. I serve. I analyze. They're the most meticulous people of it's the most meticulous. I say people because if you're a Virgo, you have these qualities too. But Virgo sun, or Virgo moon. If you're moons, then you got your rising sun and and moon we got to take a look at. Then we have the Virgo, which is the servant. Okay, so all these down here, all these on the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the first 6 houses, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and Virgo, are all houses of self, my self-identity, my possessions, my thoughts, my thinking, my family, my home, my foundation, my ego, my expression, my creativity, my children. Virgo, my service to others, analyzing everything that's going on here, putting it in order. So then this is the spring equinox here, and then we go on now to the fall equinox. This is Libra, the scales. This is where the fall feasts are. This is Rosh Hashanah. This is Yom Kippur. This is then Sukkot that moves along here. This is where the scales get balanced. But across this line then, these all deal as our dealings with other people. Here's ourselves, and here's issues about other people. So here we have above the line then Libra. Libra's the scales. Libra's partners. This is now dealing with partnerships, your marriage, people that you have a commitment to, contracts, even business contracts, the legal system, contracts with that. It's also balancing. It's also balancing. And what you see here is that it's right across. Everything is meant to balance. So we have Libra here, right across from Aries. Aries is the me, right? So we got to balance me with your partner. Am I too much me, or am I relating to my partner? Am I giving? Am I kind? Considerate. So we think about our partnerships, all the various partnership aspects, balancing things out. Then next comes Scorpio. Scorpio is a sign of elimination. It's a sign of transformation. It's a time where we analyze what do we not need in our life, what needs to be put to death, what needs to be transformed. And it is then in this month that we look at these things. And a lot of times it's after, we've got all these high hopes from the fall feast and all the things God is doing. And then we get to Scorpio. It's like, oh, the reality of it. And what do I need to get rid of in order to live this way? Are there habits? Are there overindulgences? You see, Taurus is also food and enjoyment. I'm going across here because Scorpio is across from Taurus. So we balance our need for good, delicious things with, controlling our good, delicious things. And it's my possessions versus other possessions. It's also, dealing with possessions, other people's possessions, inheritances, things like this. Okay, so we move up the line to Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the one who says, I seek. It's looking for bigger, better, wider, further away, higher God, higher wisdom, the philosophies of life. This is what we learn in this Sagittarius time. And then we move to Capricorn. Capricorn is the achiever, wants to accomplish social recognition. And it also talks about your place, your status in the world. So again, if we balance, this is the status in the world, this is our home life. How are we forgetting our home life while we're working with the status of the world and getting ahead? You see? And so then we move on to Aquarius. Aquarius is humanitarian. Now we want to give all of our goodness and everything to help humanity. We want to help other people. We want to help the dreams and desires of others and the world. We're not so focused on ourselves. See, this again, opposite of Leo. Leo is me, my ego, my creativity. What can I do though to help others here in Aquarius? And then we move to Pisces. And Pisces is the most sacrificial sign. After all this, what does it all come to? You give of yourself and you get the most satisfaction out of giving. But you could also be taken advantage of, if you give too much of yourself. So, but it's very spiritual. It's a very godly sign, a very faith-filled sign, believing in things that you don't see. And yet, and it's right across from Virgo, the worker, the servant, service to others. And then we start the cycle again, new and improved, going all the way around. We start again. Who am I? Who am I now? Who am I this year? So you go around the cycle again and learn more about yourself. And each person, this is now for the world. Take a look. Everybody looks at the new moon in Libra, and you can glean from that. Everybody then will look next in the new moon in Scorpio. But in our own lives, we look at this in that area. But in our own charts, we also have places that get even more refined. And if this is what you would like to know, I invite you to contact me. Let me know, excuse the bump there, let me know that you would like to know, and then I'm going to ask you to send me your birth information, your birth date, time, exact time. If you don't know your exact time, please tell me you don't know it. Don't just make up a time, because the time makes up a big difference. And then also the place, your city, state, and country, so we can pinpoint where the pictures of the heaven, the star pattern when you were born, what is that? And that's why we need these, because it's also scientific, you know. You can send it to me, but you'll see now, this is a woman that is one of my most wonderful supporters and encouragers in the world, all the way in Zimbabwe. God will send you people, if it's across the world, to help you. But anyhow, you see there's a wheel within a wheel. Ezekiel talks about the wheel within a wheel. Her wheel, this is her natal chart in here. And then this are the positions of the planets at this moment on the new, this is the full moon, but where they line up with her chart. So see that you, I'm not expecting you to understand the way this looks at or what this means, because they're all symbols and glyphs that mean things for planets and all kinds of other things. But what I'm saying is that then now her, even though she's learning about Libra in the new moon of Libra, well, it's actually in her sixth house, normally it'd be up there, but the sixth house is there. So sixth house is what? It's service, it's your habits, daily habits, things like this. So maybe the Lord wants her to think about partnership. Is she in her work life? How is she dealing with her partnerships and other people involved with that? Or in her health, or in her service to others, in her work life. So you see, so she gets a special insight then from the Lord. Maybe she's having issues at work, something like this. The Lord could say, well, you got to work more on your partnerships, something like this. The Lord will give you insight every month, dealing with the topic of the month and then the area of life that it actually impacts your life. So this is a basic rundown here of this cycle. We go through and through every year. And there's other things happening. These don't mean anything right now in this one, but you see, when they're placed in someone's chart at the correct times, they will say something. So I encourage you to take a look at what's going on in the heavens and find out what God has for you. God has a message for you in the heavens. It's written in the stars. And we want to take this wonderful gift back to service the believers. The heavens are God's heavens. They are not anyone else's heavens. And what we have to remember when we look at the heavens, that we must remember that we are under God, that we are God's system. Because if you don't have that humility and that reverence, then you can become arrogant and egotistical with all that you know and leave God out of it. And that's what happens when we go with the New Age and the other people. They leave God out of it and make themselves God. This is to clarify, we are not God. We are made in his image, so we do have qualities, but we are not supreme to him. So we've got to remember that when we do this, that this is a gift from God to help us discover our identity and be the fullness of what we can be on this time on earth to accomplish the purpose that he has sent us. He arranged the pattern that you were born, the stars, everything when you came into this earth. The rising sign right here, that shows the moment of your birth, and everything revolves around that. So anyhow, I know this is a little more complicated than this first lesson, but I wanted to show you the cycles. We're always developing our identity, our gifts, our talents, our understanding of the Lord. That is the biggest thing. God becomes so much more to you when you realize how intimately he does know you and the gifts he's given you. Now, we do have challenges also, and we can see those challenges and then deal with them also. So much. Okay, so God bless you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.